Acting is all about not being this box, otherwise how could you imagine being someone else? It's about a kid playing with a car by the wall and say, and the police is chasing him. And it's a real film for him. Go back to this. Envision this. Let go.
Hi there, welcome to Film Forums. My name is Aiysha Jebali and I have with me a special guest today. It's Gilles Marini. Would you like to tell us a little bit about your background in the industry?
Hello, everybody. I'm Gilles Marini. I'm from France. I was born and raised in the south of France, in Cannes, a little city that everybody knows because of the film festival. But not the reason why I'm doing this job, I would say this career. But I was born and raised there. I came here in America when I was in my early 20s. Took the time that it took, and I became an actor here in Los Angeles, and now producing and creating and acting still. So it's been I don't know, 15 years that I'm in this business, and it's been great. It's been hard. It's been easy. It's been everything you can even imagine. But it's been an exhilarating journey, and seeing new fresh blood coming up with new ideas. It's always something I want to hear and share and help. And also be in help, because I believe this new, fresh mentality of this new generation is going to help us creating new things finally, because I believe the last decade, we've been doing a lot of new things by making remakes. And I think new, fresh ideas are always something that I'm looking for.
So when you went to LA, did you already have acting training behind you, or was that something that you also pursued while you were in LA?
No, Aiysha, actually, I came here. I didn't speak a word of English. I came here with $470. So no, I didn't. First, I wanted to survive. I wanted to learn the language. I wanted to be able to be in a society that I had no idea. Culturally speaking, was an incredible shock, just like different religions, literally. And then I ended up having the chance to do a lot of modeling, and that led me to commercial acting. So as soon as that happened, of course, the camera, I understood the camera really liked me. Back then, I'm not talking about now. And then, little by little, the things happened, I guess, for a reason. And I did a lot of training, acting classes, of course. Try to understand the concept of what's going on when you're in front of the camera, or what kind of where do you need to tap on to create characters. I always felt also that there is a part of inside your DNA that is meant to do that, and then you train yourself to be good at it. I think this is either you're meant to do this or not. Practice makes it perfect, and I'm far away to be perfect. I need to practice every day. It could be at home, it could be coming from an argument or from a happy time. I always try to remember these emotions to keep my tool sharp and just get on with creating something new, hopefully.
Yeah. So, you were talking there about being, on commercial sets, and then that leading you into other work. And obviously we know your credits, you've been in TV series and things like that as well. And it's amazing to see that track. But what advice would you give to someone who, they've been hired for their first, project that has a budget? Let's be honest, a lot of films don't have a budget, especially in the indie world. So
yeah, of course,
yeah, how should one behave?
I mean, I really understand if in from that I remember 1995, 2005, 2000. You need a camera, you need material, now you need this, and you shoot, and you can create. Look, the biggest, most massive social media platform is TikTok. By the way, just signed in yesterday. You're like a dinosaur trying to tell people how to behave. Not good. So what I mean is, nowadays, there's no more excuses. If you have a mind and you want to tell a story, press play, record. Don't think about the light or the sound or anything. Try to come across with your message. And then the message can be something extremely valuable for millions of people or not, But then from there, you can actually then do a short, and then from the short you end up making a deal to make a feature, and so on and so forth. There's so many different ways, but I believe the most important thing is to not think too much about. And this is actually, I'm telling you what my problem is. Thinking about how good it's going to be, how bad it's going to be, what people will think, what will people approve. How about you don't? How about you stop thinking? How about you stop waiting for approval of phone calls? How about you just press play and you try to tell your story through whatever your mind and your soul is telling you to. This is how you create. This is how you become kind of this unstoppable force. And at the end of the day, Aiysha, only you can stop you. There's nobody that tell you not to do things. You know, we kind of live, and I say kinda because it's the most major problem we have now. But we kind of live in a freedom society, in a free society. So it's important to spread the word and spread your message, no matter what message it is. You know, it's important for all of us to pick on every different cultures and religion and way to think and gender and not putting any roadblocks or big giant wall and just look at it. Our political landscape usually makes what kind of movie we make. And it's the first time in history that you can tell every single movie you see, there's no more masks, there's no more talk about pandemic, because it's the first time human in my lifespan that we realize this is for real. This is no more, don't do this, don't do that. It's for real. There's a real problem. And it looks like humans, when the real problem arrives, they like to ignore and turn their head away and try to forget about it, right? So we are thinking. And I think this new generation needs to keep doing what they do and keep showing every color they have. So us, older people and adults and people who have done something in the business actually can realize how valuable you guys are. And I'm at this point of my career that I would rather work with a young filmmaker that has fresh ideas than an older one that has a long track, a lot of things, and we all know what they're going to do next. Something like the 15 different projects they've done before. So I'm really looking for fresh new blood, a young kid coming out of school with something that matters to them. Because at the end of the day, you're going to look at a project and you're going to say, well, I mean, it doesn't resonate inside of me. Of course, you didn't create it. So how about you spend some time with the creator or the writer and say, why this and that? And then maybe you're gonna feel, and maybe you're gonna do something else with your career as an actor that has been in the business for a while, and just giving a hand to this new generation that needs it more than ever. Because I feel tremendously responsible for the last 2 years for having all your generation inside home doing I don't know what, besides having more OCD and PTSD and all that. So I feel very much responsible. I really would love to give back, and if it's in the sense of helping new filmmakers and writers and creators to be and to make something happen, I would love to.
Yeah, and I mean, just going on from that, I think that's kind of the perfect lead into talking about Impure, you know, by Marjorie Thomas. So obviously that's a fine example of you just deciding to be involved in something, you know, that's you know, a relatively new filmmaker.
Yeah, oh, completely new filmmaker. Yeah. I think it's one of the first projects she's doing. So we have a relationship, a kind of a family relationship, more with Easy, the younger sister.
Mm.
Because we worked together. She played the daughter. I mean, she played on Brothers and Sisters when I was on Brothers and Sisters a long time ago, more than 10 years ago. And you know, I kept a beautiful relationship with the family. And when Marjorie, that is an incredible musician, I believe. I think Marjorie is extremely kind of an introvert, savant, young woman with a lot of artistic input inside of her. So I'm very happy for her to, you know, pull the trigger, as we say, and saying like, you know, screw this. Like, why not me? And why not you, sweetheart? Why not you?
what was it about Marjorie's project that interested you? Was it, just obviously the fact that it was Marjorie, or was there, the obviously the story is,
Yeah,
one.
I think first and foremost was Marjorie kindly said, she could have just called me and said, I need you now. And I say, I'm coming now, right? This is not the relationship that we have. No, she actually sent me an email with this. I have a project. I want you to read it. I read a couple of pages. And I told you, I feel extremely responsible as an adult for what's happening in the world. Story about something that happens to way more people than we think and disturbs their lives to a place that is very hard to comprehend when you don't have that issue. But if you have that issue, it could be all the way to the end of your life. So it's important and it touches millions of people. So the way she put it out there, and hopefully the way it will be shot and edited and seen around the world will impact a lot of people. The reason why I'm doing this is because if it impacts one person for them to have a better life, we are winners. I don't care if he wins everything or anything. The same concept, I'm going to give you something way more shallow than this beautiful story. Dancing with the Stars. How shallow this is. Dancing around like an idiot with some flashlight on, right? It changed people's lives. People on the couch were watching me say, listen, this idiot never danced before. I've been putting this on the side for so many years. I'm getting heavy. I don't feel good and happy. Dancing is life. It's a bit like music. And I'm sure we can relate here. The next thing you know, I start having hundreds of thousands of messages saying, you saved me. I'm like, hold up. Are we talking about Dancing with the Stars? So that's why I can never bash it. I understand the concept of the silliness, but it changes people's lives. I'm in. This is even 10 times more important. So I'm extremely excited about, portraying this character. It's really a listener that try to guide someone in need in a time of their life where they really need guidance. Marjorie is very much in tune of what this is because she's lived many different lives. This young woman has an experience of a 70-year-old experienced woman. I mean, she has lived, and it's absurd to me to not do it. It would be absurd, disrespectful to an entire generation. I need to be there for this.
Yeah, no, I think that's fantastic, that you have that passion and that desire, to be involved in those types of projects. For me, obviously for transparency for the viewers at home, I also stumbled upon the project and then got in touch with Marjorie and became a co-producer on it. And for me, I've been acting, for many years, kind of in the indie film scene really since like 2009. Recently, I've been kind of thinking, what, I also want to expand into production. And, because to be honest, whenever I'm working on an indie film, because I've been around now for a while, I end up doing other things other than acting because I'm also publicity is my profession, like marketing, publicity, that sort of thing. That's my day job. So I always end up applying that to film. So I decided for production, I'm going to look more for PMD type roles and have a look on Kickstarter, see who's looking for producers for like £250 to £500 and know that I can bring, up to about £4,000 worth of value in publicity. So I just kind of offered my services, and I'm loving getting to know Marjorie. We have a lot in common, to be honest, and she's just awesome. Like I think she's a brilliant writer, brilliant creative, and I'm really excited to see what.
Yeah, I think I can't wait for that shell to completely crack and her, seeing all the potential and value. And that would be, if that is the point of this film, I'm thrilled because we're going to unleash a beast of creative into this world of Hollywood that absolutely need that. So, yeah, you and I are on the same boat here. We are hoping for something beautiful that will flourish out of this, and I'm hoping for that.
I really do. I really hope so. I think it's a great story to tell, and it, as you say, it affects so many people.
Oh
So
yeah,
more people than we would ever realize. You know,
yeah.
some people
I mean,
meet.
it's we talk about a certain disease, a certain condition that alter your life, but it can be seen with an entire spectrum of. It doesn't have to be that.
Yeah,
It could be just that, but it's everything else.
I love the social realism genre in general. I just think that it opens your eyes up to a different perspective, and it could be about any different issue that someone's facing. But I just think perspective is everything. But I also think that it's a great time right now to make a film about a mental health disorder like OCD, because we're going through this pandemic. So many people were in lockdown. So many people's mental health was adversely affected. And also, there's just going to be so much more empathy at the moment because people have had a taste of what it feels like. Some people have developed disorders and,
Of course,
OCD during this.
of
So
course, of
it's
more than ever, more than ever. I can myself. I can myself. I'm home pretty much all day long.
I think a lot of people are now realizing, like you say, just how, like, the gravity of mental
Yeah,
health and how bad it can be. I
truly,
mean,
truly great.
yeah, I remember during lockdown, the first one, when we had no idea how this was even being passed. We had no idea what on earth we were even facing. I was terrified to even take deliveries. You know what I mean? I was
Yeah,
cleaning everything that came in my house. And I was like, how do I clean fruit? I can't even,
you
I
know,
don't like just rinsing it under the tap is enough, you know? So I mean, people, there are plenty of people who've been living that like that for a very long time pre-pandemic. But I think that a lot of us really started to understand,
yeah. Yeah, you could at the beginning from March 15 to April 15, that month in 2020. This is where the world understood is like, oh my God, those step and repeats are making me sick. And then, oh, hold up, stop the step and repeat. It's all good, and you keep going at it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think film festivals and audiences will eat it up right now because it's so relatable. Even
Yeah,
people who don't have a diagnosis or anything like that, it's just a lot more understood at the moment. And
yeah,
general society will probably forget again in 6 months, I mean, a year. But it's good that, in a sense, it's good that she's making the film now, and
yeah,
that's
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I have to call her because now again the schedule has changed. And I know it's 1 or 2 days of shoot, and it's not a big deal, but there's quite a bit of dialogue and an important one that you have to be very focused. And I had a thought about the character and how he will look at her. There's a couple of things I want to put in to remind people how to be gentle and thoughtful and to listen and to share and try to bring someone to a higher level of where they are. And by higher level, I'm not about financially, or I'm talking about mental, and that is so extremely important.
I think in a way it's kind of, this situation has inspired creativity in a very different direction, you know what I mean? And I think that it acts as a form of therapy. That is your happiness, when you're
Yeah,
out onto the page, and then you're getting it onto the screen. That's what's the word, a therapeutic, I guess,
yeah,
cathartic.
of course.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, TV and what they're watching is their savior. It's hard to say that. I know we were non-essential during this pandemic. We were just people that needs to shut up, politically speaking, or about the climate. We need to shut up. Actors are seen like, oh, that's all you can do, acting. Well, yeah, and acting is what? Is putting yourself in every situation worldwide, in every scheme you can imagine. That is not given to everyone to do. So I think we're not only actors. We are the guiding force of this world. So we have responsibilities, and that's where it comes from. I wish during this pandemic that we were seen a little bit more as the people who help you get away from this worldwide nightmare. And yet again, we were not. And if anything, we were put down and put
But if you
aside.
think about it, what was everyone doing when they were sitting at home? They were sitting on Netflix. They were sitting on Amazon.
Watching movies made in 2019, good or bad, and watching reruns. And I guess that was that.
Like getting stuck into a series, you know, and watching like a binge of 4 seasons. You know, that was my life personally. You know what I mean? So, you know, I think that actors and creatives in general, we express society, and we also provide an escape for society too. You know, it is an important.
The escape was seen as like, who cares? It's life and death situation. Well, we all understand that. We all understand that.
Yeah,
but if you have no gas coming up to the gas station, you go nowhere. So screw those people too. No, it needed to be a little bit more personal for the world, and a lot of people left on the side line thinking they are worthless. Put that in the mind of somebody. You're worthless. The government says you mean nothing, dude. It's really heavy. It's really heavy, especially when your only desire in life is to entertain and making people feel. The moment you tell people like from my industry that, yeah, you don't matter. That was tough. For me, that was very tough.
I understand. It is a, you know, it's been a traumatic experience, definitely. It has. And there's no getting away from that. And
No.
you're absolutely not meaningless because you're bringing back, you know what I mean? You're giving something back. You've got an outward focus. And that's truly how I think anyway that we're fulfilled, you know?
Yeah.
Is, you know.
You know, hopefully I get to create you know, I've been doing quite a bit of creative things, so it's always getting to the place of is it going to be sold or not? So 99.9% of the time it's not. But when something comes up and it gets exciting and it gets you hopeful. And and if you lose hope, oh God, it's over. So I'm really trying to hold on that. And another reason why it's impossible to turn down Marjorie's project, because he actually taps into everything I kind of felt and feel every day.
So what kind of advice would you give to someone then who is feeling similar frustrations, you know, to getting their creative work out there, or, you know, if they're feeling caged, waiting for the next audition, waiting for the next opportunity, you know, and there's not much going on.
Yeah.
What would you say to get them through?
I would say I would sit with them and listen to who they are. And the moment of who they are, just like you and I talking, I would say, oh my God, I would love for you to do this. So if anything, sit down around people that loves you for real. So parents could be a good one. Siblings, people you know that loves you, or fellow entertainer or actors or creators or writers or producers, and ask them what they think about you and what they will want to see you do. And the moment you stop with this meeting that you have with that person, you turn around and you start doing it. Unfortunately, we live in the world of you have to create your own shit. Because if you wait for anything, and you're not lucky as I was 12, 13 years ago, then you will never see the lights of what entertainment business is about. You have to create your own stuff. And I don't care if it's you going to work and seeing the same homeless person looking at you and waving at you the same way for the next 365 days and seeing the progress of that and his mindset. I'm just creating something out of my ass right now, but just out of nowhere, you can create something that you feel something about. The moment if you feel something about, I don't care if it's right or if it's wrong. You made a choice, so that's right. That's what I would say to someone.
That's beautiful advice, and it's very impartial. You know what I mean? There's no agenda behind it, if you know what I mean. It's create, do you, absolutely.
And I'm the first guilty one. I'm the first guilty one on not pulling triggers, because when you get to a place in the entertainment business when you know, you can't go back.
No, I think I'm very much obviously taking mental health out of the equation, because obviously there are disorders where, it's a lot harder to change that. But, in general, most people, there are people who have a more negative mindset naturally. And then there are people who have like a can-do, problem solve, positive type of mindset. And I do think that sometimes it's just about making that choice. I'm going to be positive about this. I'm going to try and do something different, or, I want to achieve this goal, so therefore I need to do X, Y, and Z. That goal is not going to come to me. It's not going to fall in my lap. So you have to kind of, I like action plans, for example. If you want to achieve one specific goal, figure out what you need to do in order to get to that goal. Otherwise, expect to keep that goal as a dream. You're not going to achieve,
Absolutely. I understand. I understand that. I can see also the blockage of it, because this business we live in, it's always been seen as the one in a billion.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a lottery. So it's easy to keep a goal as a dream and not only seeing as a goal. So the moment it's a dream, for me, a dream is to fly. I know it won't happen.
Just to finish up, I just wanted to ask you, do you have any like last little words of encouragement or wisdom for actors, particularly to get where they want to go?
Yeah. I would say to everybody to, again, be as creative as possible with whatever we have, our new toys, the platform, the cell phones, the this and the that. Be creative. Don't underestimate the fact that you need to understand what acting is about. And like I said at the beginning, either you have it or you don't. It's just like soccer. I played soccer. Either you're going to be a good soccer player or a great soccer player. We all good soccer players. We have that from our DNA. The people in the field already. And then the one who work really, really hard, and they are Ronaldo. There's no secret anyway. So if you want something like that, you go at it. And personally, I started with little things that didn't matter. I literally went to a TV show called, I think it was called Orange County, or some show back in the days. And my buddy took me like, hey man, we're not going to be superstar right away. Let's go to this company who only hire extras. I'm like, this is not what I want to do in life. I want to act. I want to really have a part where I speak. He said, yeah, but imagine if the director sees you and you're like, well, that guy. And I thought about it and I said, it happened to me all the time. Maybe because of back in the days, my physicality, or maybe the aura that I had no idea existed. And I went to that set and the director looked around and he singled me out and he's like, would you mind for a little bit of cash, have a line or two?
Wow.
That was my first time.
Yeah, see, here it's like actors are told not to do extra work. So, like, yeah,
I'm not going to tell you that. It worked for me. But before that, I did quite a bit of commercial work. So you see if the camera likes you, you see if you're natural in front of it, you see if people praise you for it. Then you do acting class. You try to have an understanding of what's happening. And acting is about forgetting everything you ever learned past 5 years old. Honestly, I always see it that way, because they tell you not to do this. They tell you to do that. And they're starting to put you in this box of life. Acting is all about not being in this box. Otherwise, how could you imagine being someone else? It's about a kid playing with a car by the wall and say, and the police is chasing him. And it's a real film for him. Go back to this. Envision this. Let go. Pretend, create, laugh, fail. And when you fall, you laugh about it, you smile, and you keep going. Don't stop. The moment you stop is when you create excuses. And I've done it many times. So I'm telling you out of my mistakes what you guys should do. And you lived it, but other people that wants to be in this. If you wake up in the morning and you feel that this is everything you want to do in life and nothing else, then you're in the right place. If you wake up in the morning and say, I want to give name that I love Kim, she's such a sweetheart, but a Kardashian, and you want to do this to be famous, please stop immediately. Please, I don't want you there, and I don't want to hear it. And people from this industry who love entertaining and love seeing story that matters don't want to see it. And you want to fall on your face. If you want to do this job because you cannot live without it, then do it. And it goes for everything else. Don't do it because you want to be famous, because that is actually the poison of the equation.
What a great finishing statement. I love that.